Hey guys, I'm Che, and welcome to the very first episode of the Black Joy Club, where we celebrate Black culture and give and take credit where it's due. Here are 5 things African Americans have given culture that you may not have known about. Let's get into it.
You're welcome. You're all welcome.
You know that fresh, crisp feeling when you get your clothes back from a dry cleaner? Well, that's all thanks to brother Thomas Jennings. The year was 1821, and 30-year-old Thomas, who was born free, had a bustling tailor shop on Church Street in New York City. Now, I just want to say that being a free black man in the 1820s in New York, it wasn't sweet. There were white mobs who tried to, harass you. You didn't live in the best neighborhoods. Oh, and you could also be sold into slavery. But despite all that, Thomas was thriving. So after his customers kept complaining that their clothes were getting stained, Thomas went to work and patented a process called dry souring, which was the start of dry cleaning. He was actually the very first African American to hold a patent. Now, between his dry cleaning invention and his tailor work, Thomas was making a fortune. Some would say he was cleaning up, but he didn't keep all of his bread to himself. He actually used most of his fortune for abolitionist causes. My man. I don't think I've ever met anyone who hates chips. Some would even call them God's snack. And we owe it all to George Crumb, a half-black, half-Native American man who bought us the potato chip. Legend has it, in 1853, at Moon's Lake House in Saratoga Springs, a customer complained that George's potatoes weren't sliced thin enough. So George was like, bet, you want thin? I'll give you thin. And he did what I would have done, which is slice them as thin as humanly possible. But they were a hit, and the potato chip was born. Now, I say legend because people have come out of the woodwork trying to say George wasn't the first one to do this. But here at the Black Joy Club, sometimes we just take credit for stuff. Now, this next brother deserves a crown. Been making summers lit ever since 1990 with his invention, the super soaker, Lonnie Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. She's probably the blackest name ever. Lonnie, a native of Mobile, Alabama, was working for NASA, and while he was experimenting with something for a mission, he hooked up a nozzle to his bathroom sink and accidentally shot water straight across the room. And he said to himself, this could be a great water gun. After he completed her prototype, which he gave to his 7-year-old daughter, and she terrorized the whole neighborhood with it, it was hard for him to find a production partner. But the company Laramie said yes, and the super soakers hit the store in 1990, changing summer warfare forever. Now, I was the first one on my block to get one, and I remember my neighbor Daryl shot me with his little squirt gun. Well, I went inside, and when I came back out, let's just say things escalated. Lonnie Johnson is one of my heroes and should be named patron saint for the youth. So we all feel pretty secure in our homes these days, thanks to companies like ADT, but the real hero is Marie Van Britten Brown, who invented the home security system. It's the mid-1960s in Queens. Marie's a nurse, her husband is an electronics technician, and he's working odd hours. So she's at home a lot, by herself in her bad neighborhood, shook. Now, she didn't just do a peephole, she added a sliding camera, TV monitors, and a 2-way microphone. She turned her whole door into a Hollywood movie set. She could see and talk to visitors, unlock the door remotely, and press an emergency button for police to come. She got the patent in 1969. She was cited in 32 subsequent patents. She got a bunch of awards, and let's just say the world became a safer place. Black women been keeping you safe before you knew how to lock a door. I want to take you back in time for an event that brought us all together. It's August 5th, 2023, the Montgomery Riverboat Brawl. You remember some white guys tried to jump a lone black guy, but then black people popped up out of everywhere and they got stomped out. And in the melee, one of the white assailants got hit with a folding chair. Well, that might have been his DNA because the folding chair was invented by a brother named John Purdy in 1889.
Not a ton was known about John, just that he wanted to improve the strength and portability of chairs, so he and his homie Daniel did just that.
And something tells me when that brother was going to work with that chair on a hot summer day, John and Daniel were looking down from heaven, smiling. Remember, Black joy is revolutionary. Keep shining.